Okay, and you get something called side effect because the body is reacting accordingly, right? So these are the things that disrupt this. Okay, you need to know that. Now, the question is, how do you know? How do you know that you have a metabolic syndrome? How do you know you're in that section? Number one, you have low HDL, okay? High density lipoprotein, low. That's supposed to be the good cholesterol, right? You have low scores. You have high fasting blood sugar. That means you have HbA1c. You fast and still your blood sugar is high. Your waist circumference is bigger than the standard requirement. High triglyceride, 三酸甘油, the lipid in your blood, and high blood pressure. You know, I have a very unique question for you. Do you notice that if you Google anything on what constitutes a metabolic syndrome, do you notice that LDL has never been mentioned, will not be mentioned, and yet most people are taking a drug to suppress the LDL? Funny, huh? I'm just saying it. You decide how things goes. Okay, I'm just saying it. All right. The best indicator of a good healthy cholesterol is to take your triglyceride, divide by your HDL. That ratio is even more accurate than looking at LDL alone. Okay, that ratio is very accurate. Okay, in terms of prediction. Okay, so if undetected or simply ignored, a metabolic syndrome ends up with the following things like fatty liver disease. You know, your liver will accumulate fat. Lipid problems, that's a triglyceride. Hypertension, blood pressure, cancer, dementia, heart disease, PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome. It is all interlinked with all this. In short, the very moment you throw a spanner into your core metabolic system, your metabolic pathway, things will start to go off. And your body system will start to show signs and symptoms of things are off. Okay, and we do not want to wait until it happens. Okay, so it is something that you want to take note of. Now, what causes metabolic syndrome? I'm going to go straight to the point. I'm very upfront. Go straight to the point. What causes metabolic syndrome? Number one, of course, there's genetic mutations. There's not much we can do. Okay, it's up to your genes and all this. But the bigger portion comes from things like this. Inflammation. You know what inflammation is? Yeah, inflammation. It comes from insulin resistance. It comes from obesity and lack of physical activity, and of course hypertension, and they are interlinked. Okay, but I'm going to focus on the elephant in the room, the big one. Okay, the genetic mutation is a very small one. The three big ones are here: inflammation, insulin resistance, and obesity. These are the three big ones, the three big spanners that you throw in. Okay, so let's start one at a time. And I have no other way that if you want to want to apply and manage it, I have only one thing to tell you. Do you know that this is your gastrointestinal system? Okay, it influences 70% of your immune system. 70% of your immune system. Why is 70% of your immune system inside here? Because all those rubbish comes in through your mouth. There's a very big gap there. Okay, it comes in through your mouth, and the bacteria, the virus, all the toxins will go in from there. So the immune system is all concentrated there. Okay, if you don't take care of that gut, when that immune system get affected, the gut get infected, okay, your immune system is literally down. Okay, that's what I can tell you that. Okay, and 95% of serotonin is being produced. Serotonin is called a happy hormone. I'm not going to go through the list of what serotonin do, but one of those things that serotonin do is it is actually a raw material for your brain to produce something called melatonin. And what does melatonin help you to do? Anybody knows what melatonin helps you to do? Very often, if you have a sleeping issue, your gut is not healthy. Okay, I'm not saying it's the only thing, but it does help if you manage your gut health well. Okay, it is also a large contributor to the cause of insulin resistance. It's a huge contributor, major. And majority of your body's low-grade chronic inflammation come from the gut. Now, that is how important your gut is. If your gut is not healthy, everything will start to break down. Your core metabolic health will be interrupted. All the spana is thrown inside this stomach here from your mouth. Your mouth, huh? Okay, so throw inside here. So it's a very important organ that we need to deal with. Having said that, let me go through the details of this. Now your intestine, of course, inside there are little intestine, and if you do a cross section of the intestine, you'll see that the wall is not a flat, smooth area. It contains folds and folds of intestinal lining. And on these folds, there is also something called a villi over here, and that's where the food, the digested food, gets absorbed in. So it's very microscopic. Okay, now that you know how the lining of your intestine look like, let's go to the next one. Now imagine this is the villi and all this intestine. Now these cells on this villi is actually very tightly linked together. Okay, not anything can go. You take a lot of rubbish, it cannot get in until a proper digestion is done. Of course, on the inside of the intestine, now this one represents the inside of the intestine, this one represents your blood system. Once it goes in, it goes into your bloodstream, right? There are bacteria. You have about a kilo or 1.5 kilo of bacteria in your stomach, whether you like it or not. Intestine, right? Whether you like it or not. This bacteria determines the health of the lining of your intestine. And when it's very well balanced, mostly good bacteria, a little bit of bad bacteria, but it's mostly healthy, it's called symbiosis. Healthy bacterial, microbes. But when you start putting nonsense, artificial sweetener, sugar, you start putting things that destroys your good bacteria and feeds your bad bacteria. After a while, the lining gets damaged. Okay, that's called a dysbiosis. The lining gets damaged, and that's where things start to go wrong. Okay, and if you still don't deal with it and you still put nonsense in your mouth, bubble tea and everything you go in, you get something called leaky gut, where the cells start to separate. And things that are not supposed to get into your bloodstream start getting into your bloodstream. You get inflammation response, and that's where the inflammation, the 发炎 is, the inflammation. All right? And some people get autoimmune, and they don't know why they get autoimmunity. It all starts in the gut. How many of you had heard of this term in Mandarin that says 要治病先治胃? Have you heard of this before? Everything starts with the gut. Even the father of modern medicine says everything starts from what you put in your mouth. It starts in the gut, the gastrointestinal system. So when this thing is damaged, you will get a whole host of issues like you never imagined. Okay, what are the issues? I show you the list of issues, you will be shocked. There are 26 recorded possible issues. That's why this kind of leaky gut and dysbiosis is not easy to diagnose, because it can be a lot of things. Nobody wants to diagnose it. Okay, I don't want to diagnose it, but you can get things like stomach pain, IBS, they call it IBS in totality. Some call it SIBO. You can get rash in the skin for no rhyme reason, you just get rash. Occasionally you get constipation, sometimes diarrhea. You get difficulty urinating, you get hair loss for no rhyme reason, you get hair loss. But all these symptoms can also be something more sinister, so it's not just the stomach lining itself. Okay, so I urge everybody, if you have any of these symptoms, go and see a doctor. Okay, go and make sure it's not something more sinister. Okay, don't say, oh, Oliver says stomach, so I go and treat my stomach. No, go and see a doctor first. Okay, but this kind of imbalance, dysbiosis, or what we call imbalance of bacteria in your stomach, can cause all these symptoms. Okay, it's very irritating. So I remember I promised to do to tell you the two switches to switch all this off. Okay, so I'm going to show you the first switch. The first switch starts in your intestine. Okay, the first switch starts in your intestine. Now, if you fall and you get scraped on your knee, okay, I'm pretty sure all of you have scraped your knee before, right? So your skin opens up. First, what you put some antibacterial here, some cream, and then you put a plaster, right? Okay, but if the inside of the intestine is damaged like this, you cannot put antibiotics and put a plaster on it. You can't do it. But there is a way to do it. First, you want to make sure that you want to increase the good bacteria, and that's the first thing to put is a bacteria called Lactobacillus fermentum. Coat it with a layer of it to help you balance up the bacteria. Secondly, plaster it with a layer of anthocyanin. This layer of anthocyanin works like a plaster on the intestine, on the damaged intestine. When you coat it, it allows it to heal. Okay, so let me show you some what you call clinical trials on this. But before I do that, have you heard of this? Any one of you heard of this bacteria called Firmicutes? Some call it Firmicutes, some call it Firmicutes. not important how we pronounce it. Have you heard of this bacteria before? Okay, this is a family of bacteria. They can be good bacteria, but it's a family of bacteria. And then there's another family of bacteria called Bacteroidetes, or Bacteroides. Okay, however you pronounce it, doesn't matter. What scientists have found is this. They have been doing research on obesity. And when they start pulling the bacteria from the gut of those people who are overweight, have difficulty losing weight, they found most of these bacteria, a large amount of these bacteria are Firmicutes bacteria. And when they go to somebody who doesn't put on weight so easily, they found Bacteroidetes as a majority. And what these scientists do is they take this, they put inside this intestine, they take this, they put over here, that fella lose weight, this fella gain weight. They say, oh, so we did not inherit the genes from our parents that made us overweight. It is the bacteria that we inherited, okay? And what they found is that this bacteria called Firmicutes causes inflammation. Remember inflammation? And it is one of those bacteria that increase insulin resistant. Okay, insulin resistant, 胰岛素抵抗. Okay, and that is the source of all your tummy issues. It comes from there. Okay, it's huge. Okay, this is called a dysbiotic microbiome. Right? So what you need to do is to reset. The first switch is to reset your intestine with anthocyanin. Remember the layer of purple anthocyanin is an antioxidant. I'll tell you what it is. Okay, but a 12-week clinical trials on this found that after you put a layer of anthocyanin in the intestinal area, Firmicutes bacteria seems to reduce and Bacteroidetes increase. It seems to balance out the bacteria. Okay, liver health improve tremendously from here to here. Liver health improve, and guess what? Water retention start to improve. The leakage is less. Okay, so all these are indication of things are recovering. So this is an anthocyanin. So anthocyanin is a very powerful antioxidant. Here's the problem. We need about 215 milligrams of anthocyanin a day. And the average human being on average, swallows about 25 milligrams only. So up to this stage, some people are asking, what is anthocyanin? Okay, and I'll explain to you what this. These anthocyanins are purplish colored antioxidant found in a lot of black, purple, dark red fruits and vegetables, okay? But there are only 2 strains of anthocyanin that actually works clinically to help our stomach wall repair. One is the cyanidin strain, the other one is the diphenidin strain. And they basically come from the blackcurrant, bilberry, and black rice. Now the people are asking, then why do I go and eat black rice to get enough anthocyanin? Yeah, you need to eat about 3 kilos a day. And by the time you finish 3 kilos a day, you'll look like a very big wild boar before you even get enough anthocyanin. It's not possible. It's not possible. So our company have extracted it and put in a bottle called Reset. What a name, right? We reset your gut. Okay, what a name. I strongly recommend there's such thing called Reset. You can give it a try. That's the plaster. And if you're keen, you can try our probiotics. It's called Lactobacillus fermentum. You try and pronounce it. Very funny, right? Okay, I mean, one acts like a plaster, the other one acts like an antiseptic cream, okay? It is not an antiseptic cream. I'm doing an analogy purpose, okay? So it's kind of help you with your microbiome, and that's my first recommendation. And this Firmicutes bacteria has also been mentioned in this book called The Secret Life of Fat, okay, by this lady called Dr. Sylvia Tara. She mentioned this Firmicutes. So it is not a bacteria that we suddenly discover. The whole world discovered this bacteria, and we need to reduce it for better weight management also, at the same time gut health. Now, remember we talked about the 3 things. We have not talked about obesity yet. Okay, of course some people say, if I take anthocyanin, will I lose weight? It's not designed for that. It's designed to deal with your core metabolic health. Your core metabolic health to start you off, easier for you to do other things. So let's talk about your what I call weight management. The switch number 2 is to starve the fat and feed the muscle. Okay, switch number 2, you starve the fat, you feed the muscle. Okay, a lot of people are feeding the fat and starving the muscle. That's why we go way around. How do you starve the fat and feed the muscle? Well, what causes your body to gain fat? There are many reasons. One, dropping as you grow older, your metabolism drop. That's one. Number two, sedentary lifestyle. Like right now, you're sitting. You just had dinner and then now you're sitting, right? That's called a sedentary lifestyle. Okay. Processed food. We eat a lot of processed food. Hunger mismanagement. You eat whenever you are free, not because whenever you're hungry or whatever it is, you eat the wrong stuff, then you get a sugar crash. You eat again and you eat the wrong timing. All these are hunger mismanagement. And number five, you have feeding fat and starving muscles. Okay, so people tell me, oh, in that case, I will do just the opposite of these five things. To me, it's easier said than done. Okay, doing the opposite of this thing is exactly what the modern lifestyle does not allow us to do. Okay, KL, we have the black Hokkien mee. Okay, Penang, we have nasi kanda. I don't know whether nasi kanda come from Penang or not. I found it in the Penang website. Okay, is it from Penang? I don't know. Yeah, Malaysians, you know or not? I don't know where it's from. Huh? Oh, Ipoh Kai Si Hor Fan. Every morning Kai Si Hor Fan. I go to Ipoh, I know. Okay. This is Wheeling's Kaya Toast. Okay, this Kaya Toast is made famous by Wheeling. Okay, because he has to eat it every day for some reason. I have no idea why. Then we have Singapore's KKM. Now, if you do not know what KKM stands for Ke Kou Mian. If you come to Singapore, you Google Singapore's KKM, Ke Kou Mian. They will send you to the block where I stay. Okay, I stay in Bukit Panjang. There's a very famous KKM there. This one is confirmed Singapore one. Malaysia don't have this. You know what this is? This is instant noodle. Okay, people don't even know how to cook instant noodle. Okay, and their soldiers are queuing up here. They came all the way from Mindef just to eat the downstairs. Okay, and what about currently this price is dropping? The durian price is dropping, and I blame Malaysia for it. Why produce so much? You produce so much, you don't export to Malaysia. Now Singapore get cheap durian. What can we do? Put on weight lah. Okay, so I'm not saying that it cannot be done. It can be done. But with all this food, and oh yeah, I forgot. Japan's siopan. Some people are eating siopan, chewing siopan every day. I don't even want to mention bubble tea. I don't even want to mention it. Okay, it is very tough to avoid all this. Okay, I'm coming from a perspective of being practical about it. Okay, it's very easy to say, but when you ask you to do, it's difficult. Now, I'd like to introduce to somebody. Her name is Lily. Okay, she came and met us when she had high liver enzyme. That means she has fatty liver, high LDL, and high triglyceride. Okay, I'm going to let her tell you what happened to her. So, Lily, can you please come in?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, Lily, can you please share what you experienced?
Yeah, I have fatty liver and this cholesterol for the past 13 years. And I've been seeing doctor every 3 months, draw blood, and then see the doctor. And the doctor advised me to lose weight. So I've been trying all kinds of methods to lose weight on my own, go gym, swim, jog, run, everything. But nothing helps until I come into PGU. And within a month of the program, my liver enzyme and triglyceride has already dropped a lot. But last Friday, I'm just fully discharged by my gastro doctor from high fatty liver and cholesterol. So meaning that I don't have to go back to the doctor to see the doctor again. Yeah. So I'm spending more than 19K because each time, every 3 months visit, about $400 Sing dollars. So I spend a lot. 19,000
on the doctor's
side. Because every 3 months, one visit is $400 Sing dollar. So I spend a lot of money on checking, just to check on the fatty liver. Yeah.
With your doctor?
Yes, because he's a specialist doctor. So yeah, so I'm very thankful to PGU for helping me to normalize my fatty liver. Thank you, Oliver.
All right, thank you very much. So thanks, Lily, for a good sharing. So I'm not saying that we have cured any fatty liver. Now remember, Lily's doctor did give her one advice, and that advice is to lose weight. Correct or not, Lily? Yes, yes. Lose weight. Okay, and all we did is help her lose weight. But you know what? When the doctor said go and lose weight, it's very easy to say go and lose weight. But to lose that weight, what have you tried, Lily?
I swim 40 laps 3 times a week. I went to gym. I went to jog almost every day. But nothing helps. Nothing can bring down my weight. as you can see on the first picture, the left hand side, the red one, is already this is my weight, my size before I joined PGU. Yeah.
Okay, so now that after you joined PGU, things came down, lah.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so these are real life testimonial. We're not claiming of any curing of any diseases. She lose her weight, her disease went off, good for her. Go and thank the doctor for asking you to lose weight, please. Right? And you notice that she mentioned something called PGU. We call it Project Glow Up. Now this is May. She came in 2021. I coached her over Zoom. She's one person who is not sick. She just want to get abs, and she just wanted to. When she put on a dress, she looks like a woman again. That's what she told us. She's a mother of 2. So what did she go through? Let me share with you what she went through. What Lily and her went through. Okay, she went through something called Project Glow Up. First, you starve the fat and you feed the muscle. Second, you treat your gut, reset your gut to get back support your core metabolism. You support the core metabolism. Of course, water retention will come out. Of course, these other 2, we can talk to you another day. These are basically lymphatic drainage. It's for you to deal with the rest of this is for the body and this is for the neck and the face. All right? So what is important is that there's fat burning, there's starving the fat, feeding the muscle, and treating the gastrointestinal tract at the same time in parallel. This gives you a very long-term sustainable weight loss. Like what Lily is, it's been 2 years, right? For me, it's been 18 years. So what normally most people will do is they'll do what Lily do, go and exercise, go and starve themselves, and it's very frustrating because if you did lose weight, you will probably lose a lot of muscle. Okay, and once you eat, you will explode back. Okay, what we do is we starve your fat and we feed your muscle. The only way to sustain long term is to build that muscle. The muscle is the one that sustains the long term. Okay, muscle. But during this program, okay, there are 3 key things to summarize for you. Number 1, we help you with caloric management, but we don't help you with caloric management first, because there are people who say, oh, it's caloric management, so we eat less. We say it is 50% not accurate. Why? Because we say there's such thing as insulin management. Okay, what is insulin management? 1 large apple is 100 calories. 1 can of Coke is also 100 calories. Ladies and gentlemen, are they the same? They may be the same in calories, but they work in your body differently. Therefore, this one is insulin management. This is the second strategy we need to do. But before we do any of this, we improve your metabolic health first. The one we have been talking just now in the last half an hour, your metabolic health. We have to adjust your metabolic health. And once your core metabolic health start to become healthier, you will feel certain things. For example, after lunch, you won't feel so sleepy anymore. And you have more energy towards the end of the day. Once that happens, we start adjusting. We do insulin management. And when we manage your insulin, your tummy will come down first. Okay, it's called an insulin belly. After that, then we manage your calorie. 斩草要除根. You want to solve the problem, you need it by the butt. You got to start with your metabolic health. Most people start with eating less, exercising more, and they cannot sustain it. We deal with your metabolic health first. And if your core metabolic health is very strong, you'll find that it's very easy to sustain the weight loss. Okay? So what do we implement for you? What do we recommend for you? First, Project Glow Up. There's a set of products. The product is there to support you in a 3-month program. It is not the magic pill. It's never the magic pill. But it's a very good product to support you for 3 months while you're going through some changes in dietary changes as well as body movement changes, right? And we have both to reset your stomach as well as to starve the fat and feed your muscle. And that's only 90 days, all right? During these 90 days, when you're consuming the supplements to support the program, 1 or 2 coaches will be attached to you to coach you on an eating plan without hunger. It's not a diet plan. That means there's no hunger allowed. So it's an eating plan. And this eating plan has been in such a way you say, hey, it's not so bad. It tastes quite good. And I can lose weight. That's great. Okay. And we will also instill long-term sustainable strategy. Yes. Now, people ask me, what's the difference between this strategy and the eating plan? I say very different, because I'm going to assume that you're going to have welcoming dinner, farewell dinner, 100-day baby shower, birthday last 2 weeks, and then Raya, Chinese New Year, what you call Christmas, Ba'zang, mooncake. It's not going to end, okay? It's not going to end. And I'm not talking about your birthday. I'm going to everybody's birthday, okay? We assume, please do not sacrifice your social life to lose weight because it will not last very long. We'll rather teach you to enjoy your social life. At the same time, we teach you strategies to how to deal with it along the way. This is more long-term sustainable. And at the end of the day, your BMR will replace the product itself. Okay, so the product is there as a support. Okay, so we can coach you. We offer to coach you over Zoom once a week. Of course, you can take it up or you can choose not to take it up. All right, and of course, if you're in your respective countries, your coaches will. In Singapore, we meet them three times in the entire 3 months. We got to scan your nutritional scan. Your nutritional level, we got to, and we also send you for supermarket walk, basically teach you how to purchase the right food, identify the right food. So we do a lot of work just to help you with that. Now, what is that we support? Remember the key number 2, the switch number 2? Well, the product itself comes with a speed burner. It's called Jumpstart. It helps you to do detox for the first 2 weeks. You'll find that your water weight and your fat weight will come off the fastest in the first 2 weeks. Right? And it's only 2 weeks long. After that, you will be supplied with something called a trim shake for you to feed your muscle. Remember, we need to feed your muscle, starve your fat. This one's a fat burner. This is a muscle feeder. And of course, we have something very interesting. Starch, sugar, carbohydrate. We have something called My Age to block it. It does not block 100%, but it blocks enough because you cannot avoid it 100%. So it blocks enough for you. Okay, and of course we have something called CS control. It regulates your blood sugar and it manages your mood and appetite. Important. Okay, and of course we have MC complex that helps you with increased metabolism and maintain your muscle, and not forgetting resetting your gut health. Okay, so this comes in a form of an entire system. Okay, so I would strongly suggest you talk to the people who gave you this link. Okay, ask them about this system, especially the first 2 items, okay, and how to get into a program that brings down your weight once and for all. So this is a half an hour talk. I've run off by 5 minutes. Now what I'm going to do is I've installed a new section called Q&A. Okay, I'm going to leave 5 minutes for you to ask questions. Please do not ask any questions relating to diseases. Ask questions relating to wellness. Okay, so you have 5 minutes to ask questions. That's the end of my talk. So for those people who wish to ask questions, you may go ahead and ask questions right now. 5 minutes. You can put it in the chat. You're very shy. You put it in the chat. I can answer. Who has the first question? Joanne said durian season. Oh, that's not a question. That's a fact. I've not done my fix yet, you know. Anybody has a question to ask? Looks like there's no questions, or are you just typing away? In time to come. If the whole day you take trim shake, after the trim shake ends, you don't know how to eat normal food, we'll rather teach you. And whoever that is, I cannot read Mandarin. So unfortunately, I cannot answer you, so I cannot read Mandarin.
最近有看到一些资讯是讲，如果要身体变好，就一定要先养好肠胃，所以 reset 是在这方面是最大的帮助。
Oh yes. Oh, that's not a question. That's a reaffirmation. Thank you very much. Yeah. What is the name? I can't read the name.
千叶.
Oh, 千叶. Thank you very much. Okay, because you know my Mandarin, I try very hard but cannot pass. Some more you write in 繁体, some more you want to try my Mandarin, I cannot make it. Okay, so that's about 5 minutes. Flynn asks, recommend Reset doses. Reset is only 2 soft gels a day. You can take it. I teach you something. Take it before a meal. You can take it before breakfast, take it before lunch, or take it before dinner. Okay, it's only 2 soft gels a day. When you take it before a meal, it will help you to regulate your blood sugar. One extra advantage. All right. So Flynn, yes, only 2 soft gels a day, 1 whole day. All right. Okay, that's all. 5 minutes is over. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day ahead, and I call up your sponsor, and hopefully we